Good morning, good morning, good morning. Welcome to another morning coffee talks. Hey, I'm starting to learn that is some men. What? Listen, I have this saying right that some people get older but they never grow up. I'm really starting to feel like some men get married but they never turn into a husband. You have to understand that even though you provide everything, there's still a reason that your wife is not happy. One thing I'm learning, man, is one thing I'm seeing out there is you can pay all the bills, you can protect, you can provide, you can show up, but somehow it's still not enough, right? You still gonna get, hey, I'm not happy, and a lot of times you're left wondering, what more do I need to give? And I really want to talk about kind of the emotional labor that a lot of men carry silently and how a lot of them are getting burned out. Listen, most of all the men in society, most are taught to be providers and not complainers, right? We just got to accept that this is, I want to say, I would even say naturally what's upon us and what's kind of backed up by society, right? They want you to carry the financial weight, fix the problems, absorb pressure, and doing it consistently day in and day out without asking for praise, right? But I just feel like consistently suppressing your emotions is gonna lead to emotional isolation, right? Just because you're silently carrying that weight. But you got to understand that provision isn't the same as connection, man. Providing, yes, creates stability, but the emotional connection is what's going to create the intimacy. See, and this is that intimacy part is a lot of what men feel like they're missing, right? Because listen, we're all emotional, but I've said this before. Us as men, when we're growing up, we're not taught emotional intelligence. We're not taught about emotional connection. Hell, we're not even taught an emotional vocabulary. We only know mad or sad, right? And so this is what is stopping the connection for a lot of men. Again, yes, you can fill the fridge up. Yes, you can build a nice home. You can buy her nice clothes and take her to fancy restaurants. But if she's emotionally starved, you're going to start to feel unappreciated. But at the same time, she's going to feel unseen. So, and again, it's not because of the money, man. It's the lack of emotional engagement, the emotional connection, right? She's starved emotionally. And again, to a lot about to for a lot of us, it's not our fault because um again, we're not taught this part of the game, right? Especially growing up in a single mother household, it's one of those things where all you see is your mom struggling. And so you're like, oh, I can, because men, right? We want to fix things. Oh, I just need to, man, my mom, she complaining about the bill. She complaining about gas money. She's complaining about this and that and this. And all that, once you connect, you're like, oh, this is just money. It's a money thing. But behind all that, because there was no man in the home to show you the other side, you miss that part of, wait, she's crying at night in her room because she's emotionally unfed, right? She's missing a connection from that support system of safety mentally, right? And physically. So only things that spills out is the problems that she complained about. But a lot of times because a lot of women also grew up in single mother households. Their emotions run rampant in the sense of they don't have anything to filter it through. So it just comes out unregulated. You know what I mean? Because when you have a father there and you're a young daughter, those emotions get filtered and regulated. I'm not saying they won't have them, but they kind of, a father can help categorize and compartmentalize those emotions, right? They can set limits and terms on those emotions so women are more balanced when it comes to when they do have the emotion. Because listen, that's just what it is. That listen again, everybody has emotion, but that's women are just more emotional. But there's no one to help balance that and filter that for them. And so I say that to say young boys, they only see it one side. They don't understand it. But the bigger thing they do understand is what, and then they start to lean into is the financial side. Oh man, we in a crazy ran down home because I don't, my mom is struggling with the job, so I got to make sure I get her a nice house, later. Man, my mom, she's getting us clothes for school. She's not buying her anything. Man, okay, once I get me a wife, I'm gonna make sure she has nice clothes. Man, some days we don't really have anything in the fridge. My mom, she working 2 jobs. I gotta make sure, that next time when I get in a relationship, we keep a full fridge. Again, we're missing that's necessary, right? Those things are necessary, but we're missing the other part of the emotional connection because it's just unseen and we don't understand it. And we don't have a man there to help guide us and say, listen, yes, a nice car is nice, but hey, son, this car runs just fine, right? There's no maintenance issues with it. It's just an older car. There's no dents and dings in it. It's just an older car. Hey, she just got 3 new purses this year, and she want another one. No, we're gonna wait, right? Because she still haven't even worn the ones I got her. Hey, listen, right now we trying to save for XYZ because this is what's gonna put us in a better situation. So yeah, the fridge is at 75%. It doesn't have to be at 100%. You see what I'm saying? It's like that's the side that you're missing. Or hey, you know what? Me and your mom going through it right now, but I'm gonna give her space and then we're gonna come back and fix the problem. Versus no man being there, she gets space and the problem never gets fixed. These are the conversations a lot of men are missing, and so therefore it leads when you don't have that, you think that you're doing the things that you've seen to help fix it. It leads to burnout and resentment. And so, you get to a point you start saying, man, I'm doing all this for my lady, I'm doing all this for them, but then it's not reciprocated emotionally. And so then you start to build resentment quietly, right? And so when you build that resentment, burnout kind of comes right behind that. You start to check out, you start to get numb, and you either lash out or shut down, right? And I've said I beat this drama multiple times. When that situation happens, a hard truth is many men don't even know how to ask for emotional support because that's not what a lot of us grew up on and was trained on. And when I say emotional support, like being around a community of other men, right? Going to therapy, doing things to better your mental, your physical, and your spirituality, right? Which ultimately is going to regulate your emotions to be a stronger support system. So when that does happen again, you into that place where you need to start protecting your emotional energy, right? Set those emotional boundaries kind of thing. Listen, you can't be everything without receiving anything. And I feel like that goes both ways for men and women. But mostly for men because we feel like that's our job to provide and protect, right? But you also have to build those habits where you feel fed, mentally, spiritually, emotionally. you have to talk to your partner a lot of times not just as a provider, but as the man she needs that's strong and not weak, right? So before we get out of here, I want to say this. You can be Superman all day, but even Superman needs a fortress of solitude. Being a husband isn't about only about what you give. It's definitely about building a space where you both can be seen and you can feel heard. Because when you ignore your emotional health, you don't only lose your peace, right? You also lose that connection that you've been yearning for. So, man, what y'all think about that? Drop a comment below. Subscribe to the Husband Code if it's your first time. If you've been watching for a while, subscribe. Also, hit that notification bell because we constantly dropping videos like this all the time. And if you got any value from this video, hit that like button. And until next time, I appreciate y'all. Much love. Peace.